my humans, welcome. This is Katy Mendoza, expanding consciousness in a fun and adventurous way. What do you think it is that makes most people have a spiritual awakening? But first, let's talk about what spiritual awakening is. A spiritual awakening is marking the initiation of your spiritual path. And a spiritual path or spiritual awakening is going to look different to everyone because we are all different. We start to question our life, from our old beliefs to our conditioning to our habits. It's literally like opening the Pandora box. There may be things there that you don't want to see about yourself, but once you open that box, you get to see those. And you choose if you want to deal with them, face them, and heal them, because now they're right in your face. Waking up to literally life, waking up and seeing all the conditioning that you have been on, that you have your life, you have based your life on all this conditioning from the social life, from everyone around you, from where you come from, where you are, where you live, where you work, everything. You're conditioned to become, to be, to pretend, to have this role of a person, and everything else is left behind. Or you have created this persona in you that you wake up and you see and you're like, wait a second. You get to see that there's so much more to life than what you have all this time been in this tunnel of thinking that it is all. And then all this opens up and you get to see that there's so much more in life than you could ever think of. It's to learn to reset your mindset, to see all the beliefs that you've been carrying on, and to be like, okay, a second, I get to think for myself now. And to reset your mind and to reset your belief, to change everything, to literally for a moment have nothing to look and connect with, because you have released all of that and you realize how all of those has not been working for your life. And now you're like, okay, so who am I? If I'm not my past, if I'm not my pain, if I'm not all these things that have happened to me, who am I? And it could be a very scary place to be, but at the same time, it's an amazing place to be, because now you have the opportunity to create whatever beliefs, whatever things you want that will work to your life. And creating the life that you want and having these new beliefs and believing what you want to believe now and being this type of person that you want to be, it sounds pretty cool and nice, right? But to get to that point, it's a whole journey. That's why they call it a spiritual journey, because it's a journey that takes forever, and it's forever and it's never endlessly. So it may sound good, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication, daily dedication. There is no right or wrong in this spiritual awakening or journey. I can only talk for myself, for my experience. And for me, honestly, that spiritual awakening, the moment that I realized that everything that I was doing and my beliefs and my choices and how I was not happy with my life, it was not pleasant. It was not comfortable. It was not easy. Another way that I like to see spiritual awakening is the moment that you make the conscious choice to really dive deeper in yourself, to really start to understand yourself and why you do things. It's the moment that you decide to face your whole self, the dark and the light, the bad and the good, the conscious and the unconscious. You make that decision. I am going to face myself. I'm going to open that Pandora box and I'm going to see everything that is there and everything that I need to change, even though it's going to be hard. I don't want to put the work, but that is the whole spiritual awakening experience. This is the moment when you start doing like deep internal work and understanding why you have been the person that you've been, and just really seeing everything in you. It's finding out all those subconscious blockages that you've been carrying that is stopping you to do everything in your life. It's really to get to know, to see the person that you have been pretending to be, the person that you have think you are, and to see how you have been trying to please everyone else because you don't want to look bad in a certain situation. It's breaking up with those patterns, those habits that you have in a daily basis. Walking an unknown path, just walking and trusting in something that you cannot see. Forgiving yourself and forgiving others. Seeing the connection that everything around you has. Learning to balance your emotions, to see your emotions, to accept your emotions. Learning to integrate your shadow in your life, in your daily life. It's making a choice to walk away from certain people, for certain situations of your life. And understanding that you have outgrown it. And really detaching to the past self that you thought you were. Really detaching from everything from the past. Literally taking off layers and layers until there's nothing there. It's more than I can really explain to words. The only way to really feel it and see it is to experience it on your own, in your own way. Without forcing it, without trying to do it, without really wanting it, without no. It kind of comes to each of us when it comes, how it comes. And usually it comes when we hit rock bottom. When we continue doing the same thing, because we are humans, we are so used to doing the same thing all over again and repeating patterns and repeating things and doing all these things that make us suffer. And we just do it, continue doing the thing until one day the pain can be so deep and so much that we're like, okay, there has to be something else. And that's usually when that awakening comes, when we really have hit rock bottom, when we understand and really see that the same patterns in our life are now working out, and it just have been taking us in a down road. So it takes for most of us humans to go through a lot of pain, a lot of darkness, until we get to see that all these patterns, all these beliefs are not working out for us. And that's when spiritual awakening comes into our life. Many times in my experience, when you start doing this spiritual work or this spiritual awakening, we get caught up in how things should be, how I have to be perfect, how I'm good, I have to do, or I have to be enlightened, or for me to be spiritual, I have to have an enlightenment situation, and I have to be perfect, and I cannot do anything wrong, and I'm perfect. No, we get caught up in that story of our egos. We fall for this trap of our egos, of thinking that being spiritually looks a certain way, or we have to do something, or we have to do this, and we have to do this to be enlightenment and be better, all this stuff. We fall for that trap, trying to go deeper into spirituality, thinking that being spiritual, spirituality looks a certain way, wanting to negate all the dark side of us, because now we want to be spiritual, instead of integrating that dark side of you and accepting it. In the book Everyday Zen by Charlotte Joko, he writes, it takes enormous courage to have a real practice. It takes enormous courage to have a real practice. You have to face everything about yourself hiding in that box, including some unpleasant things you don't even want to know about. So opening the spiritual awakening, opening and working on starting your really spiritual work, or whatever you want to call it, to let go of all your self-beliefs and all this subconscious block. It takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and then you're gonna see and find out things about you that you've been neglecting, that you've been pushing down, that you've been saying no, just because it's not correct for society, just because your parents told you that's not something, is not right, or this is bad, and you put everything in categories, and you create this persona of you. So now this spiritual awakening takes you down to break everything down. And it can be, if you guys want to check out that book, it's an amazing book talking about being in the present moment and talking about how falling into the trap of our egos of trying to be enlightenment, when enlightenment really is just knowing and learning how to be present in each moment with what we have in front of us, good or bad, learning to accept and enjoy what is right there in front of our faces. Now let's go back to the first question that I asked in the beginning of the video. What it is that you think that makes most people have a spiritual awakening? Feel free to stop this video, to really think about it, grab a pen and a paper, and write down your answer. What do you honestly think that makes most people run into spirituality, or understand or come to this realization in their life that things need to change? Now, another few questions here. Ask yourself, are you going through a spiritual awakening right now and you didn't even notice? Have you gone through already a spiritual awakening and you have already started that journey? Or are you feeling stuck? Do you know that there's things that need to be changed in your life, there's things that need to be done in your life, and people that need to be out of your life, and habits that need to be done in your life, but you just feel stuck and you just are scared of letting them go because that's who you think you are. You are just stuck. So answer these questions. Where are you? And whatever you are, don't force it. Don't try to get there. This is not a place that you have to get. Spirituality or spiritual journey or awakening is not, it's not a race. It's not like you're gonna win. It's not like you have to get there fast. Whatever you are, embrace where you are and what you're feeling. Even if you're stuck, even though, no. Feel it, be it. There's no right or wrong. There's no start or there's no end. It just is everything. One day you start and you learn all of this. One day you're gonna go down and start all over again you're gonna fall into the old traps until you really learn to really clean everything and reset your mind from it. But wherever you are is exactly where you are supposed to be. Embrace it. Stay present in each moment and experience in your life, good or bad. That is also a spiritual practice. Being able to be with with those emotions and feelings that you don't really want. But just being with it, it's like, what can I learn from this? Experiencing your anger as much as you experience your happiness and joy. Your outside reality is a mirror and it shows exactly what's happening inside, and in your inside reality, inside of you. If you want to change something outside, situations, people, really, instead of trying to force everybody and everything outside of you, just come inside and see what needs to work inside. What kind of thoughts need to be changed? What kind of ways of thinking and beliefs and patterns need to be changed inwards? Once we start focusing in us inside, everything outside automatically changes. Facing your shadow, those parts of you, the dark part of you that you have repressed all these times. And not fighting it, not being ashamed of it. No. Just learning to integrate those dark side of you in your life, in your daily life. The right situations, the right people, they come to our life when we make that conscious and hard decision to change what needs to be changed, to believe in ourselves, to forgive, to work on our past traumas, to really face ourselves, our whole self. Don't worry about the how, worry about the what. Worry about what, think about what is it that you want, who do you want to be, what things you want to create in your outside reality. If you know the what, the how will manifest by itself at the right time in your reality. Trust it. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to leave a comment down below expressing or sharing your spiritual awakening or what you're going through right now, the changes that you're going through. Please like, share, and subscribe. You are always manifesting. The question is, are you manifesting consciously or unconsciously? To manifest is to bring something forth into your physical